Keith Wyche, author, thought leader, career coach, corporate executive. With more than 30 years' experience in some of corporate America's most notable companies, Keith Wyche is now among the highest-ranking African-American executives in the U.S. In his book, Good is Not Enough, Wyche takes a practical, no-nonsense approach to helping minorities of all backgrounds better understand what is required to move beyond the level of middle management to senior-level positions within corporate America.
Corporate America is a game. And if you're going to play the game, you better know the rules. So to have a game, there's some things you need to have. First, you have to have a field. And the field's not always level. Secondly, you have to have players. And players compete against each other. Third, you have to have rules. And oh, by the way, he who owns the team, who's at the top, they make the rules. And last but not least, they keep score. So there's winners and losers. And too often, we get on the field not knowing the rules of the game.
For corporations interested in boosting the engagement and performance of its minority workforce, Wyche offers a wide range of practical ideas and solutions to maximize results.
Let me give you the first aha moment in my life. You cannot, on your own, break through the glass ceiling. One of the biggest myths in the world is that you by yourself can break through. The only way you can get to the glass ceiling is if someone on the other side reaches down and pulls you through. Make no mistake about that. Most people in this room, we get performance. But performance is only 50% of the equation. If you want to climb that ladder, you have to understand that there's a 25% component I call exposure, 25% perception, and performance is the key, but it takes exposure and perception to unlock the door.
Wyche believes that the first law of leadership is the ability to create new leaders. The organization wins by having new leaders being developed to lead, manage, and impact the bottom line.
Here's the mystery of leadership. I have an organization, there's 8,000 people that work in my organization. I have to get work done through them. There are people I have to deal with who I don't control them. There's merchandisers, I don't control them. There are folks in retail, I don't control them. I've got to learn to work together. And sometimes, particularly if you've not played sports or worked in a team environment, you don't get that. Number one for me is failure to meet business objectives. I don't care what your job is, you got to hit the number, you got to make the goal. And I have this conversation every year around time for appraisal with someone. They want to tell me about how hard they worked. And I just look at them. I really could care less how hard you work. I'm interested in the results. If it takes you 80 hours, fine. If it takes you 20 hours, fine. I don't pay you for effort. I pay you for results.
Keith Wyche is the president and CEO of Cub Foods, a $3 billion retail grocery chain, part of the $43 billion SuperValu family of grocery store banners, and serves on the WMS Industries, Inc. Board of Directors.
When you talk about diversity, one thing I like to lay out is that, to me, diversity is really diversity of thought. I like different ideas. And so if you start with diversity as diversity of thought, you tend to encompass these other things. Leaders are always looking for ideas, and they're looking for people who bring ideas. Most people just bring problems. Don't just bring a problem, bring a solution.
As a high-level corporate executive, Wyche helps minority professionals see themselves through the same lens from which they are viewed by executive decision makers.
Perception, this is big. What is your brand? You know, you always hear branding, branding, branding. I will tell you that perception is very important, and that you have a brand whether you realize it or not. People know what to expect or what not to expect the minute you walk into a room. You can't get promoted if no one knows who you are and what you've done. Companies are still in desperate need of change agents. Even in this economy, they're looking for people who can be change agents and make a difference. And if you can make a difference, they're less concerned with what you look like and more concerned about the value.
Keith Wyche is a dynamic speaker with an engaging, humorous style. His keynotes and workshops are filled with advice and practical examples for everyday application. Audiences walk away with an executable plan to help take their career to the next level.
My last comment to this room is, regardless of what anyone has ever said, anyone ever thought about you. Never give up on who you are, your dreams, what you know about yourself. Because again, at the end of the day, it's not about what other people think. It's about what you do and the value you bring. Thank you so much.